Welcome to the 2020 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment. Brought to you by our proud sponsors. Woody's Homebrew Store. Use code BREWTUBERS for 10% off your entire order and get free shipping on any order over $58. Go to www.woodyshomebrew.com. Imperial Yeast, a half stainless steel mash panel sponsor of the Brewtubers Online Brewers Club and official yeast provider of the Yeast Experiment. Imperial Yeast offers brewers of all sizes access to world-class yeast and the best possible customer and technical support. Be sure to grab a pack or two now at your local homebrew shop or Woody's Homebrew. And lastly, Hopsteiner, the official hops provider of the 2020 Yeast Experiment. Get brewing.
Alright guys, I just finished the last beer. So I've got the review recorded. I'm writing down some final notes. And the whole thing was great. I mean, the experience was great. As homebrewers, we all know that any one particular piece of the puzzle that we put together every time we brew a beer can really have a substantial change for the end product. So this time we've taken out me being part of the group, but really it's Gary and the guys at Exit 12 and I think Brian from Short Circuited, but those guys got a little more in the depth and they took out as many variables as we could. We all used same grain bill. We all went by percentages so we could tailor everything to our particular system. We all went by IBUs, same times, same hop varieties. We adjusted for IBUs, and at that point, so everything should be somewhat equal. Not saying there's always going to be brew house differences. If I've got some Simcoe that's say 8 months old, and somebody else has got some Simcoe that's fresh by two different vendors, there's going to be a difference just because they're grown in two different places. But then they went a step further and made it mandatory that everybody uses either distilled or reverse osmosis water. So we've done that. Everybody's got the same salt additions. So basically, the beer should be the same other than the yeast. So that's the variables that we're judging now. We're not judging craftsmanship. We're not judging brewer's ability. But yeah, everything's great. You go through all these beers. A couple of the yeasts had almost like a lager type flavor to them. You go through in the beers that are made with like the Chico blend, Chico not blend, but the Chico yeast, like the Independence and the Flagship, the beers that are the yeast that are more towards neutral, had a much more pronounced hop bitterness to it. Same IBUs for all the beers. Then this was pretty unique because we actually had three participants that were actually using the same strain of yeast produced by three different yeast providers. One being me, the WLP 644, Matt at Rect, with his Omega Yeast Labs 200. Then Andrew, he was using Imperial. Was it A15 citrus or A20? I think it's A15 citrus. But they're all the same. It's all the same strain, but everything tasted different. I enjoyed Andrew's a lot better than I enjoyed mine. I liked Matt's a lot better than mine, but I like Andrew's more than I liked Matt's. Now, Matt and I, we were talking previously before we brewed, and that topic came up, and I went ahead, Matt may not know it, but I went ahead and I matched my fermentation schedule just the same as his, so taking out one step more of what could be wrong, what could be different. So that was something that I did to try to make everything more controlled. But all in all, I mean, it was a great experiment, great experience, really. Some of these beers I'd probably, if I didn't know, I would argue that there's no way. There's no way they're the same grist no way, it's the same hops, same schedule, same alpha, all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's the essence of the experiment. So anyway, guys, I'm out, and maybe looking forward to trying another experiment. If we could squeeze one in between the second and third round of SJ pour, there's plenty of time. But anyway, all right, guys, cheers. Thanks, Gary. Hey guys, it's Wally. I'm gonna turn the light on. Oh, unprepared. Not prepared at all. So, back on the horse. I'm gonna do another yeast review. Today, we're gonna do the Wrecked Brewery Matt. We're gonna do his let's see, it's Omega Yeast Labs 200, OYL-200, and this is let me write this down. OYL-200. Matt and I have talked about this beer yeast. Let me get my crap out of the way. And believe it or not, crack this real quick. Nice hit. Bubbles rising up. Whoa, it's carbonated. And this yeast is a direct substitute for WLP 644. Supposedly, same strain. The same with, was it A15 citrus? I think is what it is. Supposedly. But we'll talk about it. I'm going in this blind. I'm not going all nerdy like Matt is and giving you guys examples of what you should be smelling, should be tasting. So we'll get into particulars of this. Let's see, brewed at 220, kegged at 212, bottled at 224. So original gravity 1065, final gravity 1.008. Temperature, he fermented at 75, which I followed the same fermentation schedule as Matt, thinking if we're going to use a similar yeast, I'll go ahead and follow him. And his got a lot lower than mine. Mine stopped at 1014. His obviously did not. So we're going to get into the aroma here. Aroma. We'll see what happened. What's cracking? Definitely a little bit of orange in the background, a little bit of tartness in the background. Now the 644 in this it's a wild sack yeast of supposedly Belgian history, right? Lineage. So you're going to have a little bit of that Belgian kind of, which I think is what some of the guys are not really finding acceptable with my beer. But there's a little bit of pineapple in it, more orange than anything. Very pleasant. There's a little something in the background there, almost like some kind of herbal, almost like that kind of pleasantness you get with like fresh cut grass. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say like it's a bad thing, Matt. It's just pleasant and inviting, kind of makes you think of nicer days and all that good stuff. It's a good remember for me. So let's do orange. And it's not, when I say orange, it's not like a deep marmalade like I've had with the other ones. This is like a fresh, just pull the rind off orange. It's not pithy. It's not the pithy kind. It's just like the fresh orange if you used to open it up and just take a bite into the flesh. Let's see. Now, the flavor. I don't have any of mine left. I can't compare the two, but the flavors it reminiscent of what I had on mine. His has got a much better aroma. There's absolutely no hop flavor to this right now. It's 100% yeast-driven flavors. It's got that kind of odd bready kind of. And I say Brett, this is not a Brett strain. At one point, it was believed that it was, but it's got this odd dankness, kind of odd musky kind of thing going on. But it's got a nice bitterness to it. It's got the citrus flavor on the taste is more like a deeper sort of citrus flavor, more towards it's not sweet. This beer is not sweet at all. It actually, I'm trying to think a good descriptor for the orange on this. It's almost getting towards like the bitter side of the orange. And yeah. More pithy. We'll say pithy on the side of orange. It's no, it's good though. It's a big beer. You can tell it's got some oomph behind it. Mouth feels good on it. Some of these beers, the mouthfeel has been noticeably smaller, lighter. And it's all the same grist. It's all the same hop schedule. It's all to do with same water profile. It's all yeast driven. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this one before I run off. It's 7 minutes already, so I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes. Cheers. Ooh. How you doing? So, it's me, Wally. I'm going to do another one today. Been out playing in the yard a little bit, so I'm thirsty. So, this one is Berserker. Let's see, BTYE, Brewtubers Yeast Experiment 2020. So I don't know anything about this. It's maniacal yeast Berserker. Does this have something to do with Black Label Society? I'm not really a fan of Black Label Society. Zach Wild's cool with Ozzy, but I'm just not a fan of him by himself. But anyway, so this one was brewed 2.8, keg 213, bottled 226, fermented at 90 degrees. Started out at 1066 and finished at 1012, 1.012. So let's get into her. What are we doing? Nice. Boom. And we'll pour. Not much of a head. Not a big deal for me. Roughly about the same color as the rest of them. Maybe a little bit more on the orange amber side. There is carbonation bubbles streaming up the sides. Not much. There was a hiss. So we'll get into the aroma. This has probably got more of a Brett type smell than anything. I know absolutely nothing about these yeasts going into it, unless I'm previously familiar with it. this has got kind of pineapple in the back end, and it's got just that Brett kind of wet horse blanket. I'm gonna put this in parentheses on my paper. If you guys ever get into a Brett IPA, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. There's that smell. You get this pineapple, you get some other type of fruits like that, but there's always this predominant smell from a Brett IPA, and that's what I'm getting from this. Flavor is juicy. Mouthfeel on this one's thinner than the rest. I'm not gonna say the rest, but it's on the thin side. It's not water, it's just a little thin. A little bit of bitterness on the back end. It's not really, it's kind of pulling everything away from the bitterness. It's almost like malty, kind of like almost like a lager. There's like almost like I want to say like Helles, but it's a lagery type of kind of malt character to it. It's more pineapple juice, kind of when I say juicy. The more I drink it, the more I like it. It's almost got this like plum on the very back end as the flavor kind of works from the front of your tongue to the back of your tongue as it kind of fades away. It's got this like plum thing, but really the taste is like pineapple juice. It's just not sweet. Yeah, it's just not. It's dry. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting out of it. I'm getting a slight bit of bitterness. It's all yeast-driven flavors. It's like an unsweetened pineapple juice, and it kind of fades away to this kind of like real faint kind of plum for me. So this is Maniacal Yeast Berserker, and I'll be back. It's pretty good. Really, I'm cutting hairs at this point. You're struggling to find things. This is really a damn good beer. It's a you get down to brass tacks, you got to find things, right? And it's not a knock on the brewer. It's all flavor profile, and it's my opinion on flavor profile. So maybe my opinion sucks. Maybe my flavor profile sucks. But anyway, no, it's good. Like it a lot. Cheers. Hey guys, it's me, Wally, back again for another yeast review. So, notice I got my hair cut. Did myself. I seen some people do it on YouTube. You can learn the damnedest things on YouTube. So anyway, I'm gonna do another yeast review. I got 3 more beers to go. After this one, we have 2 more beers to go. So what we have here is, this is Brian's Short Circuited Brewers. This is the VOSS KVIEK, however you may pronounce it. Let's see, fermented to 80 for 3 days. He rose it to 90 for 24 hours. Kegged it 220, bottled it 226. The original gravity was 1.066. Final gravity was 1.013. So this is called Like a Boss, West Coast Yay. So, yeah. So he used the VOSS. Now, I don't know if he used the Omega Yeast Labs VOSS or if he used another. I'd have to go do some research to see what lab that was. But I'm going to crack it open. Nice hiss. A little bit of smoke. Now, I've had beers. I've made beers with VOSS. So I kind of have a feeling. I kind of know what I'm going in for here. But still, this hop combo, grain combo is all different than what I've had. It's about the same color. It's pretty clear. Does have bubbles rising up from the bottom. Nice head on it. The aroma. Almost smells almost like a candied fruit. It's definitely citrusy. There's nothing that's really jumping out if it's like an orange or a pineapple or a mango or... But it's very inviting. Does great. Smells great. Writing notes. Yeah, the taste on it. Some of the earlier beers, I got this kind of spiciness, the malty kind of spicy, almost like a rye, and that's in this beer. It's very, let's see. It's got kind of a cracker kind of maltiness. The bitterness, it's not overly bitter. It's a lot similar to a lot of the other beers. It's there, but it's not what I would call like a West Coast, or it's probably more of the pale ale kind of to me. But that's the majority of the beers. That's how everything is. The only beers that really, for me, that had that kind of really kind of firm bittering was Mike's. Anybody that used something that was really close to Chico, Mike did use Chico, but anybody that was close to Independence was that way, which is I think that's a similar to a Chico yeast. I'm not sure. But the VOSS, there's a little bit of pineapple in the taste. The beer smells clean. It's not muddled. Maybe getting some of that Centennial. Maybe a little bit of Centennial. I think that's what it is. I think that whole entire like spicy kind of rye thing is the Centennial. For me, for my palate, for my taste. But no, it's great beer. The recipe, probably not the best recipe for this particular yeast, but no, it's good. It's the recipe doesn't let the yeast shine, I guess, really, because all these KVIEK KVIEK blends or strains, they bring things to the table, and maybe this kind of, I don't know, pulled that back a little bit, and I don't know. I'm talking and I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I think these particulars, for me, if we're going to go IPA, it needs to be more of a juice bomb, more of like a New England style, rather than something more towards the West Coast style. But anyway, that's for me, guys. 6 minutes, getting long on the tooth. Brian, well done. All right, guys, cheers. Hey guys, it's Wally. I'm gonna do yet another beer review. I got this one, then I got another one, then I'm done. So it's kind of bittersweet. I kind of took a break between a lot of them, just because life got in the way, and I just, it's just sucking the energy out of me. Life's sucking the energy out of me. So, but anyway, enough about that crap. We're gonna get into this one. And now this one is the old PET bottle. So Nikhil, he did this one. He's calling this the Hungry Hornindol IPA. It's a Hornindol KVIEK blend, KVIEK strain. I don't say blend, it's not a strain, it's not a blend. I've used this strain several times. I'm going to refrain judgment. I'm going to go ahead and get on this one. So this one is, okay, it is I think this is Omega Labs, maybe. I can't quite. I don't know. It's not on the label, but original gravity was 1064. Final gravity is 1012. So it makes it just under 7%, about a 6.8% beer. Brewed on February 9th, bottled February 22nd. So we're gonna crack it, get on it, and we'll see what's happening. It's got a Coke cap on it. Is there anything wrong with that? No. It's just funny to me. It's got a Coca-Cola cap on it, like it was from a 2-liter. Nice hiss. Some bubbles coming up. Some smoke. I'm excited. Seen quite a bit of reviews with this beer, so there's high expectations here. High expectations. Nice head. Color's probably a little bit darker, but not bad. It's really nice down here, but it's a little bit darker than most of the beers. That's fine. I think he brews with a single vessel. I think it's maybe a Robo Brew, maybe. I'm probably wrong here, but anyway, Nikhil, if you guys, he's an active member of the little chat group. The 13 of us that are in this have, and it's great. He's exciting. He's excited. So it's good. It's good stuff. So let's get into the aroma. Probably so much head there. I got black paint on my hands. Been outside all fucking day. In the garage all day. Organizing, moving, clearing stuff away. I got a little bit of sweet on the aroma. It's like a sweet melon. It's just begging to be drank right now, but I'm trying to get more aroma on it. I've used this several times. The last few times I used it, it's been a while since I've used it, but there's some orange in the background. Maybe a little bit of pineapple. but not this super sweet like dried pineapple you see at the stores. Oh, Nikhil's always in the home in SJ Pour Challenge. He's always in it. He's one of the staples. But enough about me gushing over people participating, because I've hubbed a hop experiment years ago, probably 2.5, 3 years ago. Man, you want people to get involved, but man, at the same time you want to keep it small. You want to keep it tight. But he's always, hey, let's do it. Let's get involved. So I mean, it's great. It's great for us. Great for everybody. It smells great. I'm running out of descriptors. It's not like in your face orange or in your face citrus, but there's a lot. There's something there. I can't quite put my finger on it. Let's see the flavor. A nice bitterness left behind. It's not overly bitter, but a lot of these yeast have really taken the hops and they've kind of pushed them in the back, and you don't get hardly any bitterness out of them. For me, it's pineapple. Maybe a little bit dark fruit. It's kind of sweet on the front end, but it dries out. Excuse me, carbonation coming up. I'm gonna write this down. I'm going to a George Strait song. Baby, write it down. But then it dries, super dry at the end. Guava. That's what I'm getting. Guava fruit. There's some malt there. The hops are kind of pushed in the background. But all in all, I mean, this is a super good beer. It's clear. I got chill haze on my glass, if that would ever go away. But it's super clear. It's got a great aroma on it. You can get kind of the malt. There's a little bit of sweetness on it. I don't know if that's from the honey malt or just the what the yeast leaves. But no, yeah, super crushable. You could, if it wasn't, I mean, these are, almost 7% beer. You could drink a shit ton of these, a lot of these. Sitting around BSing, you could drink a lot. But no, it's good. Well done. Very well done. All right, guys. Cheers. One more beer. All right, guys. It's Wally, of course, here for the last yeast experiment review. So this one is Main Brew Guy Gary, Tap Out Brewing. I didn't intentionally save this for last, but Gary's the organizer. He's the hub. He's the dude. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's see. For sake of time, I've been taking way too much time on these damn things. I've been trying to keep them 5 minutes or less, but there's been 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. So we'll see what happens. This will probably run over too. But let's see. Gary's got the nice label, got the government warning on there. And everything's there. Let's see here. Let's see, it was brewed 2/8 of this year. Original gravity was 1.067. Final was 1.016, canned 3/4/20. It's the yeast is the maniacal juggernaut, and it's fermented at 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, handcrafted in Naples, Florida. Cloudy skies, smooth. Okay. So, let's get into this one. Let's go ahead and say, I'll go ahead and write down that it's the maniacal juggernaut. Here we go. And it's in a can. Woo, it's coming out at me. Here we go. It is filled and carbonated. It is crystal effing clear. I cheated. Got the flavor early. So we'll do aroma. It's got a pretty decent sized head on there, so I may not get much of any aroma until that head kind of dies down. But man, that beer was coming out at me when I cracked it open. Yeah, there's nothing there right now. Let's see. Let's get it. Head's not going away anytime soon. Let's see here. There's a little bit of pineapple. It smells like a tamed down version of Hornindol. If I had to take it and say right now, I'm trying to smell through the head. But yeah, there's some pineapple in there. Let's see, what else am I getting? A little bit of sweetness. A little bit of sweetness in that. I'm trying to pick out, diving in for some nose stinks, some nose smells, some aromas. Itchy. Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot. Not getting a whole lot of anything on the aroma. Everything's pretty faint. Yeah, let's go in for the taste. A little bit of like caramel flavor to it. It's got that similar back end flavor as the Hornindol does. It's kind of like a really almost overly ripe fruit. My goodness. See, I tried to keep my eyes open when I sneezed, and you can't do it. You can't keep your eyes open and sneeze at the same time. So Google told me, I just tried it, and I failed. And you guys watched it. You guys watched it. But it's like overly ripe fruit. But it's not, there's not a sweetness like an overly ripe fruit has. Like banana. And bananas, I like them when they're polka dotted. all over. I don't like them when they're dark as a beer bottle. You know, that's too much. They're too sweet. It's just too much sweetness. I would say guava as well. It's a good beer. I can't. There's no fault in the beer. With the hopping that we've used, schedule and the malt bill and all this stuff, it's not conducive to this big, huge aroma as soon as you crack the can open. Not like this hop aroma. This beer, you know, it is. Got a phone call. Oh, I gotta go. All right, so I'm back. Yeah, so I got a phone call, so I had to take it. So I don't even know where I was at. So anyway, it's good beer. The malt bill and the hops and the schedule and the mounts and IBUs, it's not really conducive for this beer that's going to punch you right in the face with a hop aroma. I'm not saying it's bad beer. It's some of these beers. I mean, the more I kind of sit back in the evenings and think about some of the flavors that I've had through these experimental beers, it kind of reminds me. Some of them kind of reminds me of that flavor you get from like zombie dust. Zombie dust got a little bit better aroma on it, but it's not like punch you in the face. It's just a solid, well done beer, and it's just, you know, there's no flaws in it. All of them are just crushable. You could feel like you could drink a bunch of them in a sitting. But yeah, I mean, this beer is there's nothing wrong with it. Most of these beers are just not IPAs. A couple of them, and I'll get into this when I do like a wrap-up video. But anyway, no, this is a good beer. They're all great beers. All right, guys, that's it. That's last one for the experiment. So see you guys. Well, you guys won't see me because you'll see the wrap-up video before you see all these other reviews. So anyway, all right, cheers.